How's it going, everyone? Shifty here, and I'm back with another Destiny 2 video. So Xur is selling Telesto this week for 29 legendary shards. For those of you who don't have it, maybe you're wondering if it's worth picking up or not. Even if you already have it, I think this weapon is worth taking a look at because in my opinion this gun is severely underrated. In today's video I'm going to break down the Telesto and give you my personal review of this game-breaking weapon. Now I need to disclose that Telesto is by far my most used energy weapon in PvP. You can see here that I have 11,707 kills with this in the Crucible. I've used it on both console and PC with the same degree of success. But before I get into the video, if you end up enjoying it, hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. The first thing I want to do is go over the perks on Telesto, what its catalyst does, and how to get the catalyst. So for perks, it has Projection Fuse, which increases range. Then it has a unique perk called Harbinger's Pulse, and this makes it so multi-kills with Telesto reload your equipped kinetic and energy weapon. This means that both your kinetic weapon and Telesto itself get reloaded upon multi-kills. Next, it has Polymer Grip, which increases handling speed. Lastly, the intrinsic trait is Unplanned Reprieve. This causes the fusion projectiles to attach to enemies and detonate with a delayed explosion. An interesting fact about Telesto is it essentially doesn't have damage falloff because the damage is primarily done by the explosion and not the projectile itself. Now, what does the catalyst do? It increases how much ammo you can carry in reserves, but it also increases the magazine size from 4 to 7, which is really useful in PvE and can be useful in PvP as well. You have a chance to get the catalyst from Legend and Master Lost sectors. Now let's go over Telesto's PvP damage profile. It does 40 damage per bolt and it fires 7 bolts per shot. In order to defeat an opposing Guardian, you need to hit them with 5 out of the 7 bolts. Accounting for the charge time, Telesto has an optimal time to kill of 0.93 seconds. This seems a little bit high, but to successfully use fusion rifles, you want to pre-charge when you know an enemy is approaching. Telesto is extremely good at this because even if you miss some of your shot, the void bolts stick to the ground or wall and enemies often walk into them. Moving on to the stats on Telesto. Overall, the stats are really good compared to other fusion rifles. It has 85 impact, 42 range, which is a little bit low, but as I said, damage drop-off doesn't affect this weapon. Then it has 81 stability, 82 reload speed, and 66 handling, all of which are well above average for fusion rifles. Then it only has 46 aim assist and 66 recoil direction, which are on the low end for fusion rifles. And as I mentioned earlier, its base mag size is only 4, which is flat out bad, but with the catalyst that is improved quite a bit. Now I will have some more PvP discussion and gameplay in a little bit, but I want to go over how Telesto does in PvE. In my opinion, Telesto is definitely underrated in PvE. As you can see in the background footage, I was using it to solo the Harbinger mission and it did an excellent job at ad clear and boss damage when I couldn't use heavy. Between the perk that auto reloads it on multi-kills and the good area of effect damage, it can be easily used to clear out large groups of enemies without even reloading. You can also see here, I repeatedly shoot the boss and do quite a significant amount of damage. It won't do as well in activities with champions because of how restrictive anti-champion mods are. However, when Bungie finally adds an anti-champion fusion rifle mod to the seasonal artifact, you can be sure I'll have videos out of me soloing Legend and Master content with Telesto. Now back to PvP. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I have spent a lot of time with Telesto in the Crucible. I used it right after it was moved into the energy slot when Forsaken dropped, and it was honestly a little too strong with how well you could map people with it. It was eventually nerfed into the state it is today. Now with Season of the Chosen, it got a little bit of a buff. The fusion rifle range buff doesn't really apply to Telesto because the damage is from the bolt explosions, not from the bolts themselves. However, it did get a minor buff from the reduction in camera movement when firing. Regardless of buffs and nerfs, I still think Telesto is an excellent weapon. While shotguns and snipers are clearly the meta, I think fusion rifles offer a unique playstyle that is different from both those weapon types. It relies more heavily on anticipating the enemy's moves. With Telesto, that is dialed up even more because you can spray Telesto on walls and floors where you expect enemy movement. I've downed countless Guardians by spraying Telesto on walls and floors. I have secured multiple double or triple kills with just one Telesto shot because of the AoE of the explosions. Seriously though, whether you play PvE or PvP, pick up Telesto. Spray it everywhere and have a good time. I hope more people give it a go, and like I said, fusion rifles are a different playstyle, so you need to learn how to use them before tossing them in your vault. I honestly think the only downside to Telesto is the fusion rifle learning curve. Now I'm going to finish off the video with some PvP highlights from my time using Telesto recently, so stick around to check those out.
Together as one. This is amazing. Hold down. Zone C captured. You have zone advantage. Hold down. Triple down. Look at them fall. This is wonderful. Double down. Finish them. Zone C lost. Double down. Zone A. You have zone. Zone A captured. By a team that fights together, stays together. That's why we have fire teams. This is amazing. Together as one. I love it. It's pushing for victory. Punish them. They didn't expect that.
Alright, that's it for my review of Telesto. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I just want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.